Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video tutorial here on GeekSmart, and back to my Jeep again, which this time, again, this is a 2012 Jeep Wrangler. This is going to be something that'll work on all the JK series Wrangler. Essentially what I'm doing is I have the Unlimited, which has the rear seats. However, the rear seats are not the most comfortable. So if I actually come over here, see if I can get the video to show you a little bit more. I have my kids' car seats back here right now. Get this set up where you can see. Get that out of there. And if I jump up in here, long journeys are not going to be the most comfortable because you're sitting more in an upright position. In a lot of vehicles, you kind of lean back more. Well, in this vehicle, I can't lean this back. It's not designed to lean back further. So there is kits available aftermarket that essentially all they do is put spacers on the front to physically lean the entire seat back ever so slightly. In this case, that's exactly what I got. So, what I got, I can show you here, is, just got it today. It is an aluminum spacer kit. There are these big, thicker spacers here. You can see they're about, I'll actually grab a tape measure and show you exactly. The larger spacers for the bottom of the seat, the 4 spots where it actually touches the floor, and 3 spacers that are actually kind of go in between. Not on these, there's 3 locations back here, 1, 2, 3, not these locations, the ones that are on the other side of this exact bracket. And I'll go into that, I'll grab when I get into that. But essentially what we're going to do is install this guy. So, to start, what I'm going to do is I have to remove, or actually not remove, but just like these 3 bolts that are behind the seat, I'm going to loosen those. And once I loosen those, it will allow me to tilt the seat a little bit. So what I'll do, I have a socket wrench. In this case, mine's an 18mm socket. I checked it already on those 3, so I'm just going to loosen these up quick. Okay, so I got nitro on here so I can show you better, but that guy's nice and loose. That guy, which was on there real good, I had to power through that one to get that guy loose. That's an actual bolt. These 2 on the outsides are actually nuts. So I loosened them up, so you can see now I have, a good, I don't know, 1/2 inch at least underneath each nut and bolt. So they're nice and loose. Now we're going to go to the inside of the Jeep. Okay, so this is the floor of my Jeep, and what we're working on now is, you can see where all these legs, there's 2 on each seat that come down to meet the floor. If I move these, they're all hidden by the floor mats. If I take the floor mats out, you'll see that there are bolts, 1 on each. And essentially what we're going to do now is we're going to loosen those up. So I'm going to do the same thing over there. I'll loosen those up. Actually, I'm not going to loosen them up. I'm going to literally take them out. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got the bolts out, and you can see how long they are there. I got all 4 of them just laying on the floor, and now I should be able to just pick it up. You can see what we were actually dealing with there. What we have to get to now are the bolts that are right down here. So we just need to get this up out of the way. In that case, you can do a nice little handy trick with your seatbelt. Just pull it all the way out. And she'll kind of hold her in place for you. If it's going to be a little harder getting it back out of there, but don't get it too tight where you can't get it back out. So I'm just holding it up out of the way so it's not hitting me in the head. Fold those down, and I'll be able to get to that. So I'm going to do it on that side as well, real quick. Climb in here. So there we go, nice and loose, not too tight. And now I'll be able to get to these. So there's 1, 2, 3 back here, and those are the 3 that we'll go with. We're not going to touch the one that's actually for the seat belt here, just the 3 that are actually on the pivot points. The same 3 that we loosened on the other side. This is just the front side of it. And this is where we're going to take these bolts out again, and that's where the small spacers are going to go on ours. Now there are some other kits out there that you don't have to take the bolt back here out, that you slip in. Mine are full round hole, so I had to take the bolt out to get it in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take these 3 bolts out, and then I'll show you how to put the spacer in. So as I was working in here, I got the first one down and out. Set the bolt next to it. However, I added an extension to my socket because it's a lot easier if you get it going. Then you can actually twist it all the way, or just keep twisting it all the way out. It's a lot faster than ratchet. So I'll get back into doing it. I'll get the other 3 loosened up or taken out, and then we'll get the spacers in. All right, so this is going to be the hole where we're going to, oh geez, my arm's in the way, how about that? So the hole's right here on the back of this. Should be able to lift it up just fine. What we're going to do, all I'm going to do is just take these spacers here, the small ones, put them underneath there, and then take the bolt, put it back through the hole, and just thread it to get it started so it holds the spacer in spot. And then I'll do the same thing. It's good enough for now. I'll do the same thing over on this one. So spacer, tilt the seat back a little bit to get the spacer in there. And sorry if my jacket's in the way. Just get her started. And then I'll do the last one. And then once I get all 3 of those started, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back around and we're going to tighten those bolts up so all 3 of them are nice and firm, just like they were. They were a pain in the butt to get loose, so be ready for that. Alright, so here's what she looks like after the spacer's in. See the spacer down there? Bolts are nice and tight, all 3 of them. So now what I'm going to do, get the camera set back up here, and we're just going to take the seat belts that we put on there to hold everything up off. Let the seat come back down. And let them sit down there. And we're going to add the second set down here on both of these, the thicker ones. Pretty self-explanatory. The bolt holes toward the back, so the bolt hole on the spacer is on the back as well. Set that down there, put the bolt through the hole, and then these feet will automatically adjust to whatever they are to make them nice and flush. So do that on all 4 of them as well. Also forgot to mention that this is the factory bolt. This is the bolt that they sent. So they obviously sent longer bolts to match the thicker piece of hardware you're putting in there. So some of the kits I know don't come with the bolts. However, I would definitely recommend it. That way you get as much threading going through as you did on the factory ones with the new ones. So that's what I'm going to use. So this is what the foot looks like after you're done. And of course, once you put the floor liner back on, can't really tell so much other than the fact that the floor liner doesn't sit all the way to the ground anymore because that guy's kind of in the way now. But it is noticeable. And let me see how noticeable. But after you tighten on those 4 bolts with the spacers in, make sure you go back around to the back side and tighten that bolt, nut number 1 and the bolt there, and then number 2 back there. And let's take a peek. So, yeah, it's noticeable. It's not too heavy where it feels like you're leaning back, but it's a lot more comfortable. It's more like the front seats are in terms of the angle. So, yeah, kind of almost like my Liberty in terms of angle. Maybe a little bit heavier actually, which makes it even more comfortable. I'm glad I did it. So yeah, that was the JK Wrangler rear reclining seat kit. I got mine for 45 bucks on eBay. You can find them all over the web, eBay specifically. Just search your make and model, your Jeep Wrangler rear seat recline kit, and you'll see them made out of plastic, steel, and aluminum. I wanted the aluminum. Most of the aluminums are like 60, 70 bucks, but I got these for 45, so I feel really happy about it. Free shipping, and yeah, I'm really happy. And now my kids are gonna like it, I think, even more. So, thanks for watching, and as usual, we'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe above, post any comments below you have to say, and if you have any future recommendations for videos, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.